I've been thinking that ever since Gran Turismo Sport closed beta started, that while a whole heck of a heap of people who are in the top 10 are names that we usually recognize from either GT6 or like other GT games in general who've gone on to the beta. But I've noticed that there actually has been quite a few names who have been up near the top of the leaderboard or raced with some of the good drivers who have actually not really recognized. So, I figured that maybe the best logical game that they might have came from would be Driveclub. Because Driveclub, as far as I know, was the first PlayStation 4 exclusive racing game. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's a truism right yonder. So I figured I would look at the Driveclub leaderboards to see who the best drivers were on there and see if any of them correlate to really good drivers on GT Sport Closed Beta. I'll go ahead and preface this now where Driveclub is made by a company that isn't around anymore. The servers are kind of eh. I mean, y'all have already seen it cut out a few times in just this short video. So if random occurrences happen, it ain't me doing it, and who knows what the random occurrences will be. But anyway, here is the top 50. To start off, the very first name I already recognize from GT Sport, but don't necessarily recognize from any other GT games, is Vinny Tai, yeah, I don't really know how to pronounce it. Vinny Teicher, I guess, maybe. However that's pronounced. I've raced with this driver a whole heck of a heap in GT Sport, and is the best of the best as far as points are concerned for Driveclub. The points in Driveclub are done by everything, really. Anything you drive a car in Driveclub, you get points for. Drifting, racing, time trial, sprint event, online, and anything else, too. So, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a faster driver, just, I guess, the most dedicated with the most points out of everyone. So that's a pretty good start as far as correlation between talent on Driveclub and talent on GT Sport, because the very top driver on Driveclub is really good at sport as well. So on to the rest of the top 50. If y'all see any names y'all recognize, comment on them too, because some of the people are not from America, so I wouldn't necessarily recognize the names, but maybe y'all would. So anyway, I'll go down the list here. I guess if y'all recognize anybody who I don't, just leave it in the comments or on GT Planet or what have you. But given that the very first person on the list already had good correlation to GT Sport, I would assume a whole heck of a heap of people here do too, but that doesn't mean they don't necessarily play GT6. I'm just saying this because some of these people may not have actually came from a GT game previously. They might have actually came straight from Driveclub. Some people might not have ever even had a PlayStation 3 or 2 or whatever. It may have just been a PS4 only who came over, but gained talent from Driveclub and are actually pretty picky good at sport. I'm good at Driveclub, even though my ranking don't necessarily show it. I got the game about a year late or so, and in the first year there were a whole heck of a heap of exploits you could do to gain a lot of points, which I wasn't really there for that, so I can hold my own in Driveclub about as good as I can in sport. Y'all can be the judge of how good that is, I guess. And I've won my fair share of like trials and stuff in in Driveclub, and I've won my fair share of races in sport. So there you have it. And another driver I just wanted to point out too, who is just barely off the top 50, who I do recognize, is this driver. On his YouTube channel, he has both Driveclub and GT Sport Closed Beta, and one of his very first GT Sport Closed Beta videos, which means not much experience at the game, he was already running a 121 point something with Group 3 cars at Brands Hatch GP. So, with not much experience, he's running like a second and a half faster than I could ever imagine running at GP with Group 3 cars, so, and that's the 52nd ranked driver. Yeah. So, if the driver not even in the top 50 can be that fast, I'd say quite a lot of talent has actually come from Driveclub over the sport, given that as a thing as well as, well, the first place driver is really good too. So that's already good correlation, given that I'm good at both and I'm nowhere near the top. Someone relatively near the top is really good at both, and then the top is good at both too. So that seems like a good trend as far as I can tell. And again, if y'all see any other drivers who are with both, if y'all want to comment, that's good too. So we can see more talent. More talent, the better. Showcase talent. That's always a good thing. And I hope you all enjoyed this. And as always, yeehaw!